Growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Guns up, giddy up. We got a live show today. It's Friday. Boy, this is going to be a good day, and I hope my microphone is good. I said I should not do this. I'm going to adjust the microphone 30 seconds before we go live. I'm just going to adjust it. And but then I didn't get to test it. So in the live chats, let me know. How do I sound? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? Just let me know, and I'll adjust as we go. I am sorry. Today's show is brought to you by RangerUp.com. RangerUp.com. Promo code Eric Tansey, all capital letters. A lot of big things happening over at Ranger Up. Now, you guys exclusively, 100% failure to stop the Wolfpack, and only the Wolfpack know this information. You cannot put it out there. You cannot share this information. It is in the trust tree. This is a podcast secret. I don't want to see any of it on your social medias. I don't want anybody to talk about it. You know that one of the perks in being in the Wolfpack is that I am an open book and I tell you everything that's going on in my life. You know that. From all my podcasting years, you know that. Today's no different. I'm a part of Ranger Up. It's been bought back. It's back, baby. I'm not going to tell you who bought it back. Wink, wink, stomp, stomp. This is a secret. But massively big things are happening in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, you got the Wolfpack will like all the things I've been alluding to and telling you guys about. It's all going to be coming to a head, and you're going to be like, "Whoa, Eric, this was big." And then you're going to see why I was kind of like slacking off of podcasting. You're going to see why I haven't been putting out as much content, because I've been building bigger, badder, amazinger, that's a word, content. So why am I telling you now? Why am I reeling you in? Because we want to make sure that, one, the customer service is on point now, that it's in the hands of veterans again. We want to make sure that the product is all good. So there is a very nice, generous promo code. All of the shirts that we have going out right now are super stretchy. They're made in the United States. Well, the shirt company, it's all printed here in the United States by another company that has a lot of veterans employed. It's not veteran owned and operated. But anyway, really, really nice, high quality shirts that make you look skinny. They make you look strong, quality stuff. We want to make sure that everything is right. So we have the Pig Latin shirt up on there. I'm wearing that one now, but there's a ton of like blue line, thin blue line, all the old stuff. Like there's some Crusader stuff. There's some infantry, EOD. There's, pretty much every branch of the military, every style of the funny, all the things. It's all on there. So go to the Ranger Up. I mean, if you're a K9, if you're Bomb Squad, there's literally a shirt for everybody. If you're just a cool dad, if you're just a cool cop, if you're a SWAT cop, if you're not a cop, if you're not a veteran, but you support veterans, just go look. There's like some old man shirts. It's amazing, right? Use the promo code Eric Tansey, all caps, all one word. I'll give you a nice discount, but that also helped me try to kind of figure out how things are working, because I'm telling you, in 2 weeks' time, when you guys hear this big, huge surprise, this huge, shocking explosion of news, it'll all make sense to you. So LeBron never heard of her. Let me get that shirt up there. That shirt's not up there. I'm gonna try to get some guns up, giddy up. Let me tell you what, you can go there today and get the Pig Latin shirt or whatever shirt you want, but for Christmas there will be a guns up, giddy up, failure stop t-shirt for Christmas. It'll be there, and of course it gets shipped by this other company, so we don't have to do anything with it. And it's a company that they have been working with for almost 20 years. So everything is so perfect about what we've been doing. We've been working on this for 6 months, and it's been a secret, but here we are. So anyway, there you go. There's news. Also, today's show is brought to you by Berserker Built. Berserker Built skateboards and wood designs. This is a veteran Navy Special Warfare owned and operated company. Listen, his wife died of cancer very young a few weeks ago. This guy has supported my children with custom decks, American-made decks. These decks are like pro-level high school. It's like when you buy a football jersey or a hockey jersey and you buy the pro model. You know, like you can get the football jersey for $35, $50, and then you can buy the jersey for like $200. These skateboards are like the $200 jersey, except they're like not 200, they're like 150, but they are all custom designed. Every detail down to the bone is incredible. So let me show you. So he has been working with my kids and sending my kids amazing skate decks. When his wife passed away, he called me and he said, Eric, my wife's only wish was that I support the Groms and everything I make is for adults. How can we get into the Grom market? And we just started talking, and he is a man of action, which I like. Berserker built, man of action. He put together some Grom decks, and I just got the box in. Now, these are custom decks. You guys can go on Berserker Built and buy them. There's no promo code. Listen, this guy has a daughter, wife passed away. He is now a single father at like less than 40 years old. Navy Special Warfare, got out of the military. Wife gets diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, dies quickly. This dude's whole life has been flipped upside down. Let me show you. He and my kids designed these, and I think they're phenomenal. So check this out. You guys ready? This is the Halloween deck. For all you listeners, you can go to my Instagram or my Facebook, and I'll post pictures. Look at this. Berserker Built. This is the Halloween special. Is this insane? These are wall hangers, like for sure. Okay, so let me show you that one. This is the Halloween deck number 1. The very first prototype Grom deck. Again, this would go great in your office at work. These are great, icebreakers. These are great icebreakers. Here we go. Look at this. They only made 50, and I have the first 3. So if you want to get one of these 50 decks, look at this. Holographic, American made, veteran designed, owned and operated. This is the one of 50 wall hanger Berserker Heathen decks. It's the Heathen with no, it's the Berserker with no beard. Look at that. I mean, it looks fire. All right, hold on. But wait, there's more. Here we go. Let me show you this one here. This is the OG one that my son and him designed together. This one is the OG. This is unlimited. You guys can all there's not 50 of these. There's as many as we want, but this is the original Heathen design. And we decided to take the beard off. So this is like kind of a mess up. Well, it's not a mess up. It was just a concept. So the Heathen ones have no beard, which is what I just showed you. But isn't this so cool? And you can go to Berserker Built and get you a deck. And I got one more to show you. This is for like those of you who don't have kids, but maybe you're in the military or maybe you just like military memorabilia. Check this guy out. Are you ready? Are you ready? Look at this. Battle Tribe, Scooby-Doo, Little Bird with some operators hanging out. Dude, what? The Mystery Machine Little Bird deck with the Berserker Heathen logo right up here. Or actually, that's the Berserker logo because it's got the beard. The Heathen ones, the kids ones don't have the beards, but aren't those just fabulous boards? Again, designed, made right here in America. The Scooby Bird, Nightkin says, yes, it is. We are a live chat. We do have some live people. We've got Will Cray, Loren, Abby Ellsworth. We got so much going on. I've got a special guest today, JR from Michigan. We're going to be talking about politics and policing, not in the way that I always do. This is actually somebody who ran for sheriff, didn't make it, but I wanted him to come on because I want to know what it's like to run for politics. I would never do it. I will never do it. Like, never say never. I'll never do it. I'll never run for political office. But I'm curious to know what it's actually really like for those who are doing it. I have some easy questions for him and some hard questions for him. I mean, it's how many times am I ever going to get to talk to a politician bluntly? And so I'm going to ask JR some questions about politics and policing. Before we do that, I have to do the cool guy video of the week. Check your Discord, Eric. Oh, Tyler. I will. I don't, you know, I don't check Discord, dude. I'm going to check it though, just for you, because I'm also going to add all of you guys, the Wolfpack, in. We're going to start the Ranger Up Discord here pretty soon. And then we're going to link the Patreons. We're going to, like, dude, there's so much badass stuff that's going on. It's actually professional, like that. We actually have people to run the stuff. So it's not just unorganized Eric trying to keep up with literally Facebook, Instagram, web page, email, customer service, customer complaints, content creation. I mean, it's like literally it's me, John, and Josh. And since Josh has been having surgeries all summer long, it's basically been me and John. It's just too much, you know? So I'm going to do it, but we're going to roll you guys into for free. We're going to roll you guys into the Ranger Up Discord, that we'll be managing there too. So I am going to check your Discord. Tyler S sends $20 and says, I'm mad Bender not happy with Ranger. I'm mad Bender not happy with Ranger Up. Well, I will tell you this, Tyler, it has not been veteran owned and operated for the last 7 years. And the first thing that we did was get customer service. And again, secret only for you, Wolfpack, because I love you. Guess who's in charge of customer service? Guess who is the sole appointed head MF in charge? The HMFIC. Guess who that is? I'll give it to the chats. I'll give you 3 guesses of who the HMFIC of customer service for Ranger Up is. Anybody got a guess? That's right. No, it's not. It's not Ashley. You got 2 more guesses. 2 more guesses. It's me, you nincompoops. I'm in charge. Look at me. I'm the captain now of customer service. So you got a problem with customer service, Tyler. After today, you've got a problem with me because I'm doing it. But I would love to help you out, Tyler. Hit up the customer service email for Ranger Up, and I will respond to you because I check it 3 times a day now. 3 times a day. And I have cleared up so many things already. You guys also got to remember, I'm a C- student at best that's never done this before. So learning curve, be patient with me. That's why we haven't like gone full blown announcing this. It's been a slow build. If you've noticed Ranger Ups, the reels have been kind of getting a little bit juicier, more consistent, a little spicier. Okay. We're working on it. It's a slow build, but the shit's going to blow up and hit the fan. You want to know where your package is? When did you? Okay. That's a great story. Email me, email that customer service thing, and I will have your tracking number. I'll pull it up and I'll do it. I just learned how to do all this yesterday. I just did like a 3-hour class yesterday on customer service. I've never done customer service before. So, you know, I had to learn. I had to learn some customer service. So this will be exciting. I will love to track your package. So, I can do that. Are you in Canada though? Because Canada's having some problems, Tyler. You know that. You know that it's not our fault. If you're in Canada, that's y'all's fault. That's your Canadian fault. We'll see though. I'm going to look it up. All right. Cool guy video of the week. Yeah, dude, Tyler, I just took over customer service like yesterday. I just learned how to do customer. Like I just learned how to log into it. I banged out like 4 problems yesterday. And I banged out like another 2 this morning. And like there's shit like way back. I'm not going to go back prior to when it was bought back by veterans. So I'm not going, you know what I mean? Like I can't go back 7 years and fix everybody's shit. All I can do is like fix what happens now in the last 5 weeks. So just give me a break. And you're in Canada, I think, Tyler. So yeah, he's in Canada. So we're going to work on it, Tyler. Me and you. I got you. Boo. Here we go. Cool guy video of the week. And then I'm going to bring on my special guest, JR. Here we go. Cool guy video of the week.
All right, stop. Hey, Joseph. Would you mind if this officer behind you checked your pocket to make sure you don't have any narcotics or anything like that? You don't want us to check your pockets?
What we have here for you audio listeners, which is 99% of you, we have 2 cops with cowboy hats on, riding horses, and they have stopped a couple of people, ask if they have narcotics. And the one guy is being a smart ass. So the cop beats a smart ass back and says, oh, well, these are actually drug sniffing horses. And you can see the look on the gentleman's face where he's like, hold up, wait a minute.
That's cool. I have a narcotic smelling horse right here.
All right, stop.
And he takes off running. He's like, oh shit. And now we have a high-speed horse chase.
On the ground now!
Running eastbound and the north alley is.
I just want that once in my life. Like, I feel like joining law enforcement again and trying to be a horse cop just so I can have this moment, and then I'll just quit. I'll bring and hang it up. But I want that. I feel like, God, that's legend. That is legend. Anyway, that's our cool guy video of the week. I don't know who these people are, where they're from. Didn't take the time to do that because I've been a really busy man. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's also on the Failure Stop Facebook page, and it'll be in the FTS Wolfpack private group on Facebook, which all you guys are welcome to join. Be part of the Wolfpack. Without further ado, let me bring on our special guest, J.R. from Southeast or West Michigan. Doesn't matter. It's all Michigan. Formerly running for runner-up for sheriff. You didn't make it, correct? Oh, I got you muted. There he is. The crowd goes wild. The crowd goes wild. I would imagine let me just guess. The reason you didn't make it is because you weren't willing to be super, super shady.
That's probably a big part of it. I feel like every speech you give, everything you say is cliche. Everybody said it before and may or may not get done.
I guess it's probably hard running for sheriff, especially if you work for a sheriff's department, because you're running against your boss. And if you don't get elected, anything you say can and probably will be used against you in your career.
Yeah, it was a delicate balance. You know, you're trying to be respectful, run a campaign, but yet not use ammunition that you have and hold it back and just offer, what or present what you have to offer without trying to get in the trenches with everybody.
Yeah, I feel like you if you were going to win, dude, you'd have to go all in. Like, you would have to air out all that dirty laundry. It would be like, I feel like if you really were going to try to win, you got to say, like, I'm either going to win or I'm going to be fired. But, like, I'm going to put the gas pedal down and I'm going to use the God or the checkered flag, one of the two. Like, I don't think you can win and play by the rules. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think you're right. There's that balance. You're trying to do what's right. I mean, when you come from a law enforcement background and you have that mentality and not a political mentality, you always try to do what's right, and then you're balancing, hey, I have a family to support, at the same time, I'm trying to win this for the department, for the community. So you're trying not to lose your job. And I'm not even sure if anybody, and maybe somebody watching knows, but I'm not sure if anybody that I've ever heard of has ran a campaign while working at the department. A lot of people resign, a lot of people quit, and then they run their campaign.
I mean, I feel like that's the way you'd probably have to do it if you wanted to, if you're really going to have a shot at winning. I feel like that's what you would have to do. Do you think that, did they use everything they had against you? Was there really any smear campaigns against you?
No, there was things that got back to me, but not publicly smearing. There was one guy that ran. He was kind of a sovereign citizen. During a debate, he called me a murderer because of an incident I was involved with. And it's probably on YouTube, but in front of a room full of conservatives, I somewhat lost my temper. And I presented the facts of the public judging the police officers, and that's why police officers don't feel they can do their job, because everybody wants to judge them and Monday quarterback them. This was an incident that I was found, not at fault for. Lawsuit ensued, and he took that and used it to his advantage and tried to paint me as a evil murdering cop, and it didn't go over well with me.
Did you, let's start with what made you want to get into politics?
Well, I never really wanted to get into politics. And honestly, when I started in police work, I never wanted to promote. I wanted to go out, chase bad guys, arrest people. But as you mature in the job and you start seeing problems and you start seeing issues, and I think more cops need to do it. I think more real cops need to be chiefs. I think more real cops need to enter the political game because, I don't see things changing when you have people in charge that bend to the political correctness answer as opposed to saying this is right, this is the line we're holding. I think you're going to recruit better. I think you're going to have more respect out of your department. And, from me to everybody watching, I think if you're thinking about it, you're a true cop and law enforcement in and out and your intentions are all right, I say go for it. I'm not going to.
Do you have any, would you have done it differently if you could run again? What would you have done differently?
Well, at the time I was running, I worked a long stint of midnights. I was selling real estate with the 10-7 project and running a campaign. I think I probably would have taken some things off my plate. Waking up to phone calls from the campaign team saying, hey, you have to be here to speak, checking emails on real estate, going to closings, and then working midnights. It's pretty much like a zombie, and I may not have put my family first that time. I got goal oriented and was driven and trying to survive, mainly. So it doesn't come without sacrifice. It doesn't come without, the negative side. But, I felt I was doing what was right, and I felt I had to stand up for the department. I had to stand up for the people, and I got caught up in it. So politics isn't easy. And if you're not a politician, it's even harder. But we need more non-politicians in charge of law enforcement in today's day and age.
Did you find yourself having to play politics? And what was that like?
Honestly, I didn't really find myself playing politics. I remember looking a particular person in the eye that came up to me and said that one of my speeches made them tear up. And they were tearing up as they were talking to me. But then I saw the vote with the GOP and noticed that they voted against me. So the political game literally made my stomach hurt. And I didn't play politics. The money that was raised for my campaign, I didn't go out and ask for money. It was all good, solid, hardworking people that saw the problems, and it funded my whole campaign. And I spent almost down to the very last dollar, and the last, I think, $300 I gave to the local GOP here.
Wow. When you talk about what was the donation difference? Your opponents, how much money did they have versus how much money? You don't have to say how much money you have, but can you give us a percentage of did they have more? Did they have less? Did you guys all have the same?
The one that was the current sitting sheriff at the time, he had quite a bit more. I think I probably had maybe a quarter of the money. But I had a lot of hardworking people on my side, and man, I had people hustling. I had people campaigning. I had people volunteering. I had, people putting up massive billboards on their property. It was quite humbling to get all that help and know the type of people. And if I won, I didn't owe anybody anything because they weren't the type of people to come and ask for it. So it was quite impressive. And like I said, it was super humbling, and I was really, really beside myself when I saw the help come out and I didn't have to sell my soul to get there.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe more fundraising, because you said you didn't fundraise, do you think fundraising? Because I mean, if I'm donating money, I want to donate to somebody who wins. You know what I mean? So I don't know, why didn't you fundraise?
Well, because of what I was saying before, in part, the time restraints, and everything just went so fast. It was a very short period of time. And I had to pick and choose what I was doing. And a lot of times my weekends were filled with delivering signs because people would get on social media and say, hey, I need 4, I need this, I need that. And instead of reaching out and asking other people to deliver them all the time, there was times I'd drop boxes off at certain people's houses and they would give them out. But I had a lot of time spent running around and trying to not let people down. If they wanted to support me, I didn't want to not show up with a sign. So I had people, like I said, with the billboards, they were spending days, building the billboards and putting large banners on them. But yeah, time restraints. It was a quick, fast campaign, and the time flew by.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky when you have guys like us who aren't business minded, and we're always trying to do the right thing, right? Like, so, I think one of the big problems that I've always had with running failure subs, I try to do everything myself because I know that I can do it right, or like that I can do which is why I wanted to do the customer service for Ranger Up, because I am like, I'm good at that. Like, I want to go, I don't like to disappoint people. It's kind of like my biggest fear. And I do, I think my fans know that I do care. But I'm not a businessman, so I bite off more than I can chew. Like for the book, I did this whole bookmarker thing where it's like, if you pre-order a book, I'll send you a bookmark. Worst idea I've ever had. Because one, I thought it was going to be like 60 people. I didn't know it was going to be 1,000 people. And I didn't know that I had them commenting on 4 or 5 different social media pages. So it's like now that I'm a part of Ranger Up and I work with people that are a lot smarter than me business wise, like I'm starting to figure out like, oh yeah, the best practice is to just get it done and like not do it yourself. Bosco, how do you not have your fucking book? I think it's just because I see your name and I'm like, I'm going to see this guy pretty soon and I'm going to give him like 100 bookmarks. That's the only reason you haven't gotten yours. I still feel like every week I'm going to go and see you, but you called me on the phone, so you got a little bit more. I'll get you your bookmark sooner or later. You're different, Bosco. But shouldn't be different. I need to just take the time to send you a fucking bookmark. He's in the live chats. So going back, do you think that you would have tried to delegate more?
Yeah, I probably would have delegated a little bit more. A lot of things with the campaign is face-to-face time. If somebody wants to support you or you're trying to get them to support you, you don't really want somebody else showing up at their house to give them the information. So like you said, I tried to be everywhere. I tried to do everything. And luckily, like I said, hopefully, I was really lucky to have a lot of people help. But yeah, no, delegating and running it more like a business is probably right. And like you said, running a business. And what I do notice is a lot of the successful business people, they're stern. They don't necessarily put the time and effort into each individual person they're dealing with. They just move on. They're make the money. But guys like us, coming from law enforcement, it's about each individual. It's about, making sure everybody's taken care of. And sometimes that weighs heavily. And it's not as if...
I always make the joke. I wake up and I have to quit telling myself this. Nick Palmachano, one of my really close friends, a guy I wrote the book with, Nick he's always on top. And he's like, dude, you got to stop saying that stuff about yourself. You got to stop saying things like that. You're manifesting bad vibes. But one of the things I say is I wake up every day and somebody's mad at me every day. And I never get to be mad at anyone. But every day I didn't send somebody a bookmark, or I didn't respond to somebody's message, or I haven't texted this person, I haven't called this person, or, I didn't drop this. It's like every day I wake up and I'm just like, who's going to be mad at me today? And then how am I going to put out this fire? But I don't feel like I get to be mad at anyone.
Yeah, I still get to be mad at some people, usually when I'm wearing the uniform, but yeah, outside of that, I don't get an opportunity to be mad at too many people either. So I know how you feel.
Did your friends in the police department, did they kind of like shun away from you running for politics? I know personally, I'd be like, if I back him and the new sheriff, he doesn't get elected, then I'm going to be out because the new sheriff's coming in. Like, safe bet would be like, let me not openly support this guy. What was the support from your fellow law enforcement officers like?
So I was actually impressed. There was a couple new guys that had the gumption to actually show up to the interim sheriff interviews and meet me in the hallway and say, hey, man, I'm here to support you. Guys that I don't even know if I met them before that. And I'm like, man, you're brand new. You might want to go hide in the bathroom somewhere. But within the department, there was a lot of guys that came up to me and, said, hey, I need a sign, but I'll meet you outside, down the road. I support you. There was a little bit of blowback for some other people, but as far as me, after the campaign, I met with the current sheriff. He asked to meet with me and, I wanted to portray no hard feelings. You've been a good officer for me for a lot of years and there won't be any repercussions. So
Do you
That was
believe him?
good, but so far
I feel
I'm
like
doing
that's
okay.
you have to say that. Like I feel like if you're the sheriff and you have somebody running against you, like I feel like that. Like it's probably
Yeah.
not like that's probably like an SOP. It's like, hey, like all your board, like the board of directors or like the city board, the city council's probably like, yo, you need to pull this guy out and make sure that he knows, because I can tell you, I've been on the other side of the city while they're trying to fire people. So I've gotten like a great inside look at these things. And, the one thing that they don't want is hostile work environment or anything like that. So it's probably like a check the block. Like, I'm not going to fuck with you. Have you felt like you've been fucked with at all since?
No. I mean, I got 22 years in, and I rotate between midnights and afternoons. I've been passed over for some stuff, but anyone in law enforcement knows that stuff happens, and you just got to kind of roll on. I've since the campaign, I always assumed that if I lost, it was going to be detrimental. It was going to be a big blow to the ego and everything else. But honestly, man, when it was over, it was like a huge weight off my shoulders. And from that point, I just told myself, I'll go to work. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to stop internalizing things. I gave the people a choice. I gave them everything I had, and that's what I did. So I just got to be happy with that and keep serving the public. And as a lieutenant, serving the people on my shift, making sure they don't get dead, hurt, or sued. And that's what I've been focusing on since the campaign.
Well, I think it's a very noble, like you're a very noble person for doing the things that you're doing because, to come onto a podcast and to talk about it, but to stay at the department, to keep working hard, to not say anything bad. You don't feel, you don't look like you have like a chip on your shoulder. And I respect that. That's really cool. Lazaro Lopez in the chat says, Tansey looks constipated. Maybe I am. Maybe Big Daddy T's got to take a poop. I'm not. I don't. But I'm sorry I look that way. I'm sorry you feel that way about my look. I did just get a new haircut. I thought it was just a regular mullet, not a constipated mullet. But we'll see what we'll see what's going on there. Do you have any aspirations of running again?
No, I don't at this point. I think it was probably a one and done. It was, let's go file the paperwork. Let's see how this works, and let's try to stand up for what we believe and bring the fight. And I think I'm definitely not a politician, and it saddens me to the point where real cops don't feel at home running for a position where they're in leadership of their law enforcement community and friends and family within the department. Because I certainly feel that way now, and I feel that it's not in me to be a politician.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, man. I haven't met a politician that I fully trust or like. I tolerate a few politicians. I've had a few politicians on this podcast. Jonathan Emord, and I like him and I respect him, but like they're not my people. They're not my people. They're not. You're never going to get an authentic truth out of a politician. You're going to get a political answer. You're going to get the answer, and I'm not shocked that you lost. And I don't want you to take that personally or mean, but like, I don't feel like you can win if you were a good person.
Yeah.
Jonathan Emord didn't win, but Jonathan Emord's a good person. And I'm just like, I don't see, you've got to be willing to commit war crimes, to win a war.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like you cannot abide by a Geneva Convention probably and win a war. Like if you want to win, you've got to commit some war crimes. I feel the same way about being a politician. I don't think you can win without being shady and seedy. I just don't. I mean, am I right there? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I gathered from running and having contact. And you see certain people group up, get each other's back, do that kind of stuff. And I didn't have a group. My group was, like I said, the solid, hardworking people in the community and the people within the department that saw the issues they wanted fixed. And there's still talk of people wanting me to run again, within the department. But I think I paid my dues and I absorbed the impact of the campaign with the intentions of benefiting the department and the people. And I think at this point, I played my role and I've done what I could do, and I just have to live with that. And I guess look at it that way. And it's time for someone else to step up and maybe try next time.
Yeah. Now you look like you've lost a lot of weight since last time you've been on the show.
Yeah,
there's from running from politics.
No, there's a lot of contributing factors. It's maybe some after effects of the politics.
You look like, when the the Obama, the picture they show like Obama before he was the president and then pictures afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have that look going on. Like you look beat, dude. You look good. I mean, you look like you're in good shape and everything, but like, I can definitely feel that like there's like a weight. Like I know you say the weight's been lifted, but like I can definitely tell that you're coming off the ends of running an election. How taxing on your body is it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know how taxing midnights in general without running a campaign and without, dealing in real estate is. On midnights, I typically lose weight anyway. I mean, go to Myers before they close and sweet potatoes and grapes, you get what you can. And yeah, that contributed to it. It caused a lot of back end issues in my life. So it was a big price to pay. And
what was the hardest part about running for you?
I'm not a big public speaker. I grew a lot during the campaign, from my first speech to my other one. You get up there, you look around, there's some grumpy old conservatives and people staring at you and everybody, wants to ask questions and stuff. But, there were some big major issues that people brought. And I think I changed some minds even in the Conservative Party. Red flag laws is one of them. And that was a big question. And there were some demands on my part on something, things to say. And I stood my ground on what I believed. And I think standing your ground, just like law enforcement, if you're right, you're right. And you stand your ground. You don't sway your opinion based on other people's opinion. You hold that ground and you'll always come out in the end. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Who was like the coolest person you got to meet? Did you get to meet any, like, was Gretchen Whitmer involved in any of the campaigning, or did she, reach out to you guys at all?
No. Tudor Dixon. I was at a speaking event where she spoke before I did. Pretty impressive person. Hopefully she'll stick with it. She's, seems like a down-to-earth person and has all the right intentions. So yeah, she spoke. So it was kind of interesting, she's speaking, and then, I ended up with a microphone that she was speaking with, and I knew that I was in the game. A lot of stress to get up there and speak in front of people. So that was pretty difficult. Meeting the demands of where to be, when to be there, all that. So.
Did you so now I always say everything happens for a reason. Man, trust me, I've been in this, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, and I've always come out and I've always been able to see, okay, well, this is why God put me through this, because now look how good I am at doing this. Now I know why I was a cop, because now I'm good at doing this. Or like, this is why, I'm with my wife and I have 5 kids, because I was born to be a father. Like, it's just in my DNA. Is there anything that you're coming off of this, this race where you're like, I learned a lot of that and I'm going to take what I learned and do this with it? Is there any kind of those epiphanies?
Not a ton. I mean, I think it was definitely a self-confidence builder. I mean, running for sheriff is no light duty. And an introvert law enforcement officer like I am, it was a huge step. And to know that I could take that step and I survived for the most part, it was a good confidence builder. Not a lot of people run for sheriff, not that many counties in Michigan, not that many sheriffs, not that many elections. And to do it in the way I did, out of 4 people, come in second, without pushing a narrative that wasn't true and honest, and without caving to some things that I could have caved to, and speaking how I felt to speak and what I felt was right. And I stuck to everything, my morals, my principles. So I'm pretty proud of that.
If somebody were to wanted to run for sheriff, because you said you think that more real street cops and cops should try and should do it. And I would have to guess that it's good, because you're going to learn a lot about leadership. You're going to learn about the ins and outs of it. That's great. What bit of advice would you give a street cop that decides that an introverted street cop that wants to be a politician? Like what kind of advice would you give them? Would you say just what would you say?
Well, I'd say, if you're a cop and you're a successful cop and, you haven't caused trouble, you have a good career, I think you stand by your morals. You hold your integrity, because in the end, win or lose, you're gonna know you stood by that. And in the end, that's what I felt the best about. I didn't cave. I didn't tell one lie. I didn't beg people for money. I didn't, I didn't give in, and that was the most important thing. And I looked
but
at
you
it
lost.
before.
The most important thing is to win.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. And I thought before this, and the way I looked at it was, if I just go out and tell the truth, I just tell the truth and say how I feel and hold the line and do what's right, then people will see that. But in politics,
Isn't it sad
that's
though?
not the
Like,
case.
isn't it sad that we have to joke that like you're not, and it's almost like it's not a joke. Like, I'm really serious. Like, I don't feel like you can win a war without committing war crimes. And I don't think that you can win politically without being a scumbag.
Yeah, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that for sure.
What's next for you?
Well, I'm looking forward to retirement. Don't know what's next after that.
What are you going to do in retirement? Run for council, city council?
No, I'm not.
Head of the Chamber of Commerce? Rotary?
No. I've been enjoying real estate. I never thought I'd be good at real estate. But when you surround yourself with good people and honest people, like Mike and Tracy and some people that I'm with, just a quick story. I sold a house to a guy that works for the state police up in Kalamazoo. It was a long road. His wife at the end sent my wife a really nice message and how much she appreciated it. And then he came and picked me up a few Sundays ago, and we went and got pizza. And I've seen a lot of good tears. And law enforcement, you don't. You see bad tears. So real estate's done wonders for me in a way I never expected.
Mike the Cop is we were talking about this before the show. Mike the Cop is still one of my favorite people of all time. And I got to sit in a couple of 10-7 meetings, and just everybody that's a part of the 10-7 project. It really is. He's done a really great job of creating a family. How is it working with Mike the Cop on your end? I've always enjoyed it, but maybe you have a different opinion.
No, it's great. It's great. And like I said before the show, I would have never stepped into real estate. I would have never done it if it wasn't for Mike's phone call the one day. I still remember it. And back to surrounding yourself with good people, he's certainly one of them. Everybody I've sent to him, he's helped out with mortgages. He's bent over backwards for them. And I always get phone calls. Hey man, I got this $300 knife in the mail. Mike sent it to me. Mike took care of me, and it just feels good that you can send people you care about that put their trust in you to somebody that is going to take care of them. And that's so important to me. And I get to hold on to my integrity and my morals, and I get to not just sell people houses, but I get to provide people with a process that, they're happy in the end. And, there's been some struggles, but in the end, nobody's been unhappy with me. Like at my regular job, I'm typically the guy that people aren't happy with.
Yeah, when I found wine and wine studies when I was a cop, and you found real estate, and it's like when you find that one thing outside of the job, it really makes the job that much more tolerable. Because like you said, man, it's hard to make people happy. I even say a message in my book, Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story. I say a fireman could show up to a house and spray it with foamy, sudsy water and destroy the house over a small electrical fire in the kitchen. And everybody's like, oh, we love you and thank you so much. But a cop can literally mediate and save a marriage, and everybody still hates the fucking cop.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's ever happy.
Yeah, after some years, it takes a toll on you. You don't get called to good people's houses because they're celebrating Thanksgiving. You get called when they're fighting at Thanksgiving, and the trauma and the things you see over the years, and that's pretty important too, I guess, for a lot of your viewers. If there's younger cops out there, I've been pushing through my shift a lot about mental health maintaining, like the gym, as opposed to waiting until it's full and waiting till you're fat and try to get in shape. Stay in shape and keep that thing going, because I certainly didn't see it coming. I thought I was tough. I thought things were gone, and found out that they're certainly not. They hide and they sneak up on you. So. Oh yeah,
man, they sneak up on you real quick. It's like, I actually had like kind of a blowout on this show a couple weeks ago, man. Like I just, like, the weight of the world just like hit me. All these things just came at me at once, and I felt just awful and pathetic. And you never know when those things are going to creep up on you. And anything that you can do to make things like, at least I was in good shape. At least I was, had a happy marriage. At least I had a lot of things going to me. Because if what would have happened to me in the last month with my book release, if that would have happened to me and I didn't have supportive family and I didn't have what I had and I was fat, I don't know if I would have made it through it. I honestly don't. Like, it was like the worst month. It was like probably the second worst month of my whole life. And it was like the month that my book came out, which was great on paper. The book it was doing amazing. Everything was doing great. But like, I didn't get paid from like everybody that was supposed to pay me just decided in August, like, I'm not going to fucking pay him. And I had spent tons of money on travel. And so like, I found myself with like $0. Like, imagine like having 5 kids and a wife, having, a once in a lifetime book deal and having all these other things going for you. And you literally don't have $1 to your name. Like, you have tens of thousands of dollars somewhere, but you have 0 access to it. And it was like, it was 5 weeks of me having to like not drive places, like counting every penny, checking the bank account every 5 minutes. Like, it was awful, dude. It was really, really, really bad. And now I can see it now that I'm on the other side. It was like God was keeping me humble through that whole time, because he was like, hey man, don't get excited about this book. Don't get excited about what's going on right now. Like that's nothing. What is something is just family. Like, this is what you should be still excited about, not any success that you have. And I think it really grounded me and humbled me back up, because I was really like looking forward to the book launch and I was going on these really big podcasts, and I had to cancel like 3 of the biggest podcast opportunities of my life because I didn't have a single dollar to get to them. I mean, and I just thought like, this is the worst. I've worked so hard to get here and it's all gone. But mental health is so important, for cops, because you just don't know. You don't know when you're going to wake up on that job and you're in IA and they took your car away, and your kids broke their arm or whatever. And dude, those demons they all just start coming at you. They start coming out of that closet like as soon as they smell blood in the water. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And to address a problem, you have to identify the problem. And I think for cops, that's the hardest part is identifying the problem. If you don't know what it is, man, it sits there and it festers and festers. And then one day, you go to say an address that you were at 10 years ago and you about lose it, and then you're like, damn, like I thought PTSD wasn't real,
Yeah.
So maintain it, keep up on it, because
Stay in
it's
shape
harder
and have
to
those
fix.
things like real estate. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have a second life. You really do. Like, and you can't like find a second life to where you work yourself to death and you're a poor family person or something. But like, maybe your second life is coaching your kids. Maybe your second life is, gardening with your wife, or, selling real estate or whatever it is. I mean, find something that you enjoy outside of the job, because if the job consumes you, literally it will consume you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
If you're consumed by the job will absolutely consume you. It'll eat you right up. And then it'll take a shit and forget about you.
Yeah. And I told some guys at work, it's in order to be a really good cop, you have to care. But caring, there's a backside to that can weigh on you personally. So it's a very, very delicate balance, and finding that balance is so important.
It's so important. I think it's such a powerful statement. Like, to be a good cop, you have to care. And caring takes such a toll on you. It really does. Like, if you really have empathy for people and you really look at people in their situations and you look at them as somebody and not a body, which I actually use that term in my book. I actually I had to, in my book, it's like in the 2nd chapter, I think, but like I literally had to stop looking at bodies because I was seeing so many dead people. Like, I was like, all right, I'm going to stop looking at these as some bodies, and I'm going to look at them as bodies, because trying to empathize and know, like, how did they die right here? Like, what led them up? It was like killing me. So like, when you are a caring cop who has empathy and cares about people, yeah, dude, like there's an emotional toll that goes with that. Like, you're paying that emotional piper. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. I find myself shying away from it now. We had a trained pedestrian the other day, and they're like, oh yeah, he's right over there. And I said, yeah, I'll stay here. I'll go,
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're younger, you're like, oh yeah, I got to learn and go look. But no, you start putting up a defense mechanism and you start feeling that full glass and you get tired of feeling it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Like it's the point. Like I can't even watch movies, bro. Like
yeah,
the movies to me are like too realistic, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see it.
yeah,
I've seen that in real life, and I don't want to see that shit anymore. Like I like comedies, I like funny movies, but dude, when movies start getting too serious, like it makes me uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah. Same here.
Which
I'd
that's
rather,
why I wrote my book in the way that I did, because my book was catharsis. Like this was me putting the funniest moments of my day on paper, so I didn't have to remember the shittiest parts of my day on paper. And I think that's why my book's doing so well in the police community. And I didn't think it was going to. My opinion was, well, cops live it. Why would they want to read about it? But now as more cops are reading it and telling other cops, are like, bro, this is the funniest. I'm so glad I read this. It's changed me. Like it made me feel better about life, because now you're getting to laugh at some other cop going through your bullshit. And it kind of takes the emotional toll of the job and like wraps it up and puts a bow on it for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I really do think that the comedic value of Pig Latin and why like people are like so drawn to it right now is because it's like, it's literally a book that you can read and then you just kind of like push away your like negative emotions. You're like, oh dude, I'm not the only one that's going through this shit. And it's funny, it's laughable, but also at the same time, I should probably keep myself in check. Cause I talk about that. Like I talk about in the book, like when I get away from myself and you have to find yourself. And I think it's important for young cops to know that, once you're 4 or 5 years into the job, it is time to start looking at hobbies. Seriously.
yep,
Side gigs, seriously, because if you don't, that job will be all you have, and you'll have one day you'll wake up, you'll have no wife, you'll have no kids, you'll have no sanity, you'll be fat, you'll be depressed, you'll be an alcoholic, you'll have all these dead bodies in your brain and nobody to share the stories with. And it'll consume you. It'll eat you up, man. You gotta find something.
yep. No, I agree 100%. I agree. That's why I'm pushing it through my shift at our shift meetings, and younger guys look at me like, what are you talking about? But I remember I was there once. But it takes some time to learn that you're not indestructible.
Yeah, it's almost like you kind of have not like hit rock bottom, but like you got to get pretty deep and then have a really good. You got to have people that can notice it. Like lucky for me, I've got a wife and kids, so it's like if I'm feeling any type of way, like they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if you're that lonely single officer at home, like you better have a good solid supervisor like you, better have good shift buddies, that they can notice that you're acting different and they can reach out to you so that you don't keep spiraling down the fucking dark path.
Sorry, I got to plug the computer in.
No, you're good, man. We're going to call it anyway. We're at the 52-minute mark. And again, head over to rangerup.com. Check out all the shirts over there. Go to berserkerbuilt.com, where you can look up the link on my Instagram page. Get you a wall hanger for your kids or for your own house, for your office. It's a great piece. Where can people find you better, JR? I think we lost JR. I think he plugged his computer in or it died. JR didn't give me his full real name to give out. He didn't give me permission. I have his real name. I don't have permission to give it to you. So I'm going to withhold on that. But if you're in the Michigan area, if you want to get a hold of JR, just go ahead and DM me. I'll try to put you guys in contact. I'll try to get you guys put together on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as Eric Tansey. If you guys need some business contacts. And but I appreciate you guys all being here with us today. Thank you for all your support. And, I'm glad that I have friends like you guys. Bosco Autry has prayed over me. Liz, she has prayed over me. I've got friends like Jason Kiefer from One More and I'm Out of Here that call on me. The Wolfpack has helped me out extremely. And I can tell you for one that the Wolfpack is everything that they say it is. So if you are in a dark spot, if you are feeling like those demons are creeping in, please join the FTS Wolfpack. It's free. It's a private group on Facebook. They talk about weight loss. They talk about dating, and it's healthy. Like, it's not a bunch of degenerates. Like, nobody's sliding into each other's DMs and being creepy and perverted or anything like that. Like, we have a very good, wholesome family going on here, and it's respectful, and it's really great. And we have people like Abby, and Loren and Bosco and Folk Around and Find Out, and all these these names in green that you see in the live chats. We'll say Lázaro Lopez, but all these people are here every week, and so we are kind of like a family, and I would not be where I'm at today if it was not for the Wolfpack. Like, every little bit of success that I am growing, it all comes back to the Wolfpack. And that's why I don't stop podcasting. Like, right now on paper, it would make sense for me to just call it quits on Failure to Stop, call it quits on podcasting, but I love it. And I love you, and I'm not going to stop. I'm actually going to keep growing to do more podcasts. And it's not because I have an ego and I just want my voice to be heard. It's literally because I've fallen in love with you guys. I have fallen in love with being in the chats and having people to DM and to talk to and to put content out to and to entertain. So I get so much out of you guys, and that is why I want to continue to podcast, and I want to make this podcast better. And I also want to bring other people along with me on the journey. And it takes time, and you guys have seen how far we've come in 5 years with this podcast. And we're just going to keep going. And my relationship with Abby and with Bosco and Santana and Folk Around and Find Out and Liz, who just had surgery, and Joni's back in the chats, and all you guys, Sarah Kelch, and all of these people. It's just, I can't wait to do more stuff with you guys. And I think with where I'm headed in the next 5 months, the next 1 month, 5 months, is really going to, I was in a meeting, and I said one of the things I wanted to do with what I'm doing with Ranger Up right now is pour that back into the Wolfpack, and to get back into doing more live shows and more meetups. And everything that I'm doing now is working its way to being able to do those things. And I have been talking to Mike the Cop a little bit more and stuff like that. So that's I do love Mike the Cop, but I appreciate you, Blonde Beard, for sticking around for me, because I love you guys. So thank you guys again. Seriously, I know it sounds cheesy, it sounds dumb. I don't know how to make it not sound cheesy or authentic. All I can say is I promise you, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got no reason to waste one of my lies. Like, what if me lying to you about how much I care about you is like the last lie, and I get to heaven and God's like, dude, you were just about to get in, but then you lied to the Wolfpack and told them that you really, really cared. Like, why did you burn a lie on some people on the internet you've never met, and now you're not going to get into heaven? So that's the way my brain thinks. So I'm not lying to you, because I wouldn't waste a lie on people I've never actually physically met, if that makes sense. I wouldn't waste a lie on that. But I'm not going to lie to the Wolfpack, because I generally do love you guys. So for myself and everybody at the Wolfpack, thank you guys. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned. Follow Ranger Up on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Follow me. We've got lots of amazing things coming up, and I'm not exaggerating. These are amazing. These are fun times, guys. These are fun times, and you're all going to be a part of it. Josh is in surgery today. Dead Leg Media is in surgery today. So if you are a prayer warrior, please pray for our dead leg. I know that somebody left the comments and said, wow, this show's really gone downhill. They couldn't even keep Dead Leg along. I don't even know why you would say you can't even keep Dead Leg. Like, Dead Leg has, he goes on lots of podcasts. He has 600,000 followers or something on one of his lights pages. They have a lot. He built that social media, and they have a shit ton of fans. So it's not even Josh. Josh is probably, Josh is way more successful than I am, and he's smarter than I am. But there's no drama there at all. Josh and I talk literally on the phone every day, at least by text. So no, John's still here. It's just everybody. We're just in a different season right now with the book release, everything like that. So that's why things have been weird. Absolutely zero drama. And if there was drama, I would just tell you about it, because I never lied to you. I'm an open book. So there's no drama going on. It's just a different season, man. It's just everybody's extremely busy, and we're just in this weird, we're building the house phase. You know what I mean? It's we're living in an apartment, but building a big giant house. And it's weird. At least we have an apartment to stay in, but it's going to be great once the house is built. That's where we're at. that's where we're at. So for you audio listeners, or for you guys that are just tuning in, just know that we had a house. We're getting a bigger house, but we sold the other house, and now we're in an apartment. Does that make sense? Heather Redden. I think about Heather every single day of my life. When I tuck my daughters in to bed in their blankets, that Heather Redden, who I think she's from Arizona or Utah. She's out from the West, but she's even flown here and visited our distillery when I owned the distillery. And she knitted blankets for my kids, and my daughters are still in the crib, and I tuck them in with those blankets every night. So, I mean, that's how special you guys are, man. It's like, it's like every single one of you, there's a piece of you in my heart. And so one of my big goals for 2026 is meeting you guys more face to face and having more opportunities to meet up with you guys. So we were big into that a year and a half ago. And just again, having to build a house, we got away from that, but we're going to get all back to that. So thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. I'll probably do a Patreon this week. I'll definitely be doing more Patreons as soon as the Ranger Up thing is public. Remember, don't tell anybody. It's just you on the podcast. Fucking tell somebody. I'll be disappointed. Won't be mad. I'll be disappointed. But I'm going to be going on the Patreon because I want to talk to you guys about my journey and all the things I'm doing over there, because I think it's cool, because I'm going to be learning, and I hope that you guys will be able to learn too. And I want to bring some of you guys on these journeys. Like all these people that have been reaching out to me about starting your own podcast, starting your own business. I'm not going to be like an influencer weirdo offering up courses. This is all still the same $3 Patreon that we've always had, less than a cup of coffee. But like, I want to get some of you guys up. Like once I get on my feet, I want to bring you guys onto your feet too. You know what I mean? Like I want to do more stuff with Abby. She's super successful. She's a big writer. She knows these things. Like I'd love to do some like Patreon stuff with her, and like how she got started and how she writes and how she puts her content out there, and how she's such a perfectionist and how she dials that in and things like that. And then we've got Bosco Autry, who's going through his own journey. You know, it'd be kind of cool to see, all these things, and just kind of get, we're all just kind of like networking together and building each other up like we've always been doing. We're just going to get back into doing that a little bit more. Going to be doing a little bit more. So give me some more time. I know I'm asking for a lot. It's been a long time. It's been like 6-7 months of us, with the book. You guys have been so patient, and give me a couple more weeks. Shit's going to get cool. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Guns up and get it up.